Thank you guys for coming back to my podcast. Today I'm interviewing a past client, Dawn, on her experience with buying her first home. Thank you, Dawn, for being here.
You're
Tell them a little
welcome.
bit about you and like what the process was like.
Well, Dawn Watson, I originally from Cleveland, Ohio. Moved here back in 2014, and so been a renter pretty much all of my adult life. Um, and so, as I was trying to rent again, I ended up meeting you, and that's when we just to get information about uh, owning or where I am to own a home, because I never thought that I could own a home because, like most single moms, I have debt, um, and didn't think that I was at a place to own a home. So, uh, to start that process was scary.
Yeah.
And for the process to go as fast as it has went, I never thought, I always thought that it took a long time. I was anticipating, this is going to be a year-long process to get to this point and to own a home within 3 months after just inquiring, just to see where I am, was scary and a rush at the same time.
Yeah. Well, so tell them a little bit more about, you were saying that you were planning on renting again. So what, I guess, was your interest level in being a homeowner? Were you interested in being a homeowner or it just happened?
I was interested in being a homeowner. It was one of those, on my bucket list. Always had a desire to be a homeowner. Like I said, I just didn't think that I was financially ready or to get into such a huge purchase. And so my go-to is to rent. If I don't know anything else, I know how to rent a home. I know how to rent an apartment. And so I was getting to a point where I wanted to rent a house.
Okay.
I got tired of neighbors on the top of me, neighbors on the side of me. The place that I had been in that apartment almost 5 years.
Okay.
And it was getting to a point the very last year, it was uncomfortable. Just like, why? All of a sudden now the neighbors upstairs is making noise. They've been there almost 2 years. So why now are you making so much noise? So I was like, well, let's just go find a house to rent. And
Yeah.
so I asked a friend, like, hey, did you use a realtor to rent your house? And just happened that was your mother-in-law, and it was just, well, talk to her, and here we are
At a party.
right.
So I know that a lot of the framing around your fear about the home ownership process was the financial piece.
Yes.
So was it difficult to get pre-approved?
No.
Okay.
That it was very, I would say, not knowing really what it took. I because you see what you see on TV, right? It's like you got to have all this money, you got to put down this big down payment, and and I'm like, well, I don't have any money. I know what I have. What can I work with? And so I knew I had one benefit that I earned, and that was my VA benefit. So I'm like, okay, but also it was like, well, I'm still gonna have to put some money down. I don't have a whole lot of money, and I didn't want to be in debt to anybody else. So it was just like, okay, to hear that, oh, you're pre-approved for this amount of money, and I'm just throwing a figure out, and they said, well, how much do you want to pay? And I'm like, I don't know, 400,000, because that's what I'm seeing the houses are going for. And so, oh yeah, no problem. And yeah, it's not, oh yeah, everything looks good based on what I can see right now. Things are good. I'm like, wait a minute, I know what I'm dealing with because I got the bill collectors calling me, and everybody else like, what do you mean everything looks good? And so, you hear that you have to have this type of credit score and this higher credit score. That looks good to people, and for me to be at a, fair credit rating,
Yeah.
I'm like, you telling me I'm good to make a purchase, and it was like, wow. And then you have a realtor say, get someone that, hey, we're going to get them to pay this, and you don't have to pay this, and you don't have to pay. And I'm like, wait a minute, where's all the money that I'm thinking that I have to have? And so it just seemed simpler
Yeah.
and easier.
Okay. So would you say that it's expensive to purchase a home compared to renting? Because you say you're good at renting, you've been renting for a long time. So comparing like buying a home versus renting, would you say that like the money that you had to bring to the closing table was fairly more than what you had to bring when you were doing deposit and all of the other things when renting?
No, it was cheaper.
Oh,
It was a little cheaper. So, when you're renting a home, depending on your credit, either you're going to pay a small portion of a deposit and the first month's rent, or you're going to have to pay first and last month's rent. And so, what I brought to the table in the home that I have now, I got the money back.
yeah.
So, with the VA benefits, there was no deposit down, and I just had to put a little earnest money. And they said, yeah, okay, well, to make things fair, we just need this little bit of portion. I think it was like $40. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? I'm like, hold on, run that back. So she was like, yeah, $40. And I'm like, oh, we'll give you that money back. And so that was like, oh, wow, yeah, it's cheaper. And then now, as I look at it, I'm getting a return on my investment. Where in renting, I'm just paying somebody to get, paying probably just as much, if not more, for you to tell me what I can and cannot do in this place that I'm giving you a whole lot of money every month. And then the moment that, you don't want to work with me anymore, you can just put me out.
Yeah.
Where now, yeah, who's putting me out but myself?
She said, who's going to put me out?
I'm putting myself out. So, it was like, oh, okay, now I'm seeing, there's a benefit, especially this past winter. I'm like, oh, wow, we had the snow. My apartment mentality, okay, somebody's going to come clean this off. Somebody's going to salt the driveway. And then I'm like, oh, wait, no, that's me. So it was like, okay, this is mine.
Yeah.
And now I can do whatever I can do to my apartment or my home and get the return on my investment.
Yeah. So would you say that there was anything that you were particularly surprised about? Obviously, we talked about multiple things like the financials and all of those things. Was there anything outside of those things that you were surprised about?
It all was a surprise to me, to be honest with you. Like I said, if nothing else, I know how to rent. I'm going to get what I get. It is what it is. I can't, tell the homeowner like, hey, I don't want this, or the apartment community, I don't want this, can you change this? And for the to be honest with you, this process went quicker than some rentals I've gotten.
Yeah.
So to just have a conversation about lending and establishing a pre-approval, and then to start looking at houses, and then like, oh, okay, well, how about this? And then, talking to people and getting with the builder, and the builder says, oh, okay. And then looking at, hey, well, what do you want? And let's do what we need to do. And then having all that within 3 months, it was like a rush.
Yeah.
So it was just, I didn't know what to expect. I can say that my expectations were changed, because I'm thinking, again, this is going to be like a year-long process. So let me rent something in the midst of this, and we're getting it all together. And,
oh my gosh.
And I'm putting money away.
So many people think that way. I talk to so many people who are like, oh, my rent is coming up, like my renewal period is coming up. Let me go ahead and sign another 1-year lease to prepare
Right.
for buying a home. And it's like, realistically, like, how long do you have before your lease is up? Because you could be in a
Right.
house by then. And I think that's so many people's misconception is that it's going to take a really long time and it's going to cost me a lot of money.
Right.
When you compare, renting is just as expensive, especially in this Charlotte market. So what would you say? I know that we liked a few houses. So like, what about the house that you're in now, your house, what made you say like, this is the one? Like, what was the moment that was like, oh, this is the one that I want?
It just felt right. Granted, the first house that we looked at, it was like, oh, yeah, I really like this house. And I think it was the way it was set up. And I think that's what drew me in. It was how it was, I guess, what you call staged. I was like, oh, wow, this looks like a home. This is like something that, hey, we can have a bunch of people running around and, it's just going to be awesome. But then it was like, I got to do that yard. And I'm like, I don't like being outside like that. To when we went to the builders, and I think it was just from meeting Joey to, hey, this is what the home could look like, and then walking through the model homes, and I'm like, oh, wow, I don't have to worry about, what somebody else did or fixing what someone else did. Everything is brand spanking new. And then I'm like, yeah, I don't have to have room for everybody to be here. And then I don't have to do my yard. And if I did, I'm like, a little 10 by 10. I'm like, that's no problem. And it just felt like, yeah, this is me. And to be able to go and me, if anybody knows me, I hate trying to make decisions. If you put too many options in front of me, I'm stuck. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay, you tell me I just go pick a house. All right, no problem. I know I want that color, and I want those lights, and I know I want those shelves, and oh, okay, that one? All right, cool. Sign me up. It was a quick process for me because if I think too long, as you know, and I'm a card player, they say you study long, you study wrong, and so I didn't want to be in a loop where I'm second guessing. It's like, if we're gonna jump, let's jump.
I remember during your process, we put in an offer on
oh my God
that. We put in an offer on that first house. So tell me a little bit about, because I know that when we were talking about it, there was a difference in like even how you felt in the two different processes. But tell me a little bit about like how that first offer process went for you.
That was stressful. I slept for like 2 days behind that. And I think it was just that was the very first time I've ever been in that predicament where, we're going back and forth and, calling back saying, okay, here's what they're saying. Well, what do you want to say? And it was stressful. My anxiety went through the roof. I'm at work pacing like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on. And also, this could actually happen. It was a lot of emotions all at once. Stressed me out to the point when I told you, yeah, I'm walking away, I was like, okay, God. I felt relief because it was a lot.
Yeah.
Where this one I didn't have to work and go back and forth with the new build because nobody's selling it to me but the builders. Yeah. And they're wanting to do whatever it is what it took to get me in the house. And so, that was stressful buying from another owner because, they're wanting what they want. And I'm like, hey, I'm trying to help you, but you're not wanting to, to bend a little bit.
Yeah. So, and I think that's the big thing too, because I know that before we put the offer in, it's like, hey, this is our first house that we like. We're going to put an offer in. But like, if they're not willing to like be where you need to be, then it's not going to make sense for you. And I tell like a lot of my clients, it's like, it's going to be easy to find a house you like,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to be a little bit harder to find a house that you like that's willing to do the things that you need them to do
Right.
to be able to move in and for you to be comfortable.
Right.
So I think that's like one of the biggest things. I would say, like, what is like advice that you would give to anyone who is looking to buy a home or feels like they won't be able to qualify, or that it'll be too financially stressful, or that it won't work out, or
Right.
any like negative connotation associated with it?
Just try it.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
just try it. I mean, I think, you know, it was one of those, you just got to take a leap.
Yeah.
It's a gamble at the end of the day. You don't know what you're going to get
Yeah.
until you walk into it. If they say no, they say no. If they say yes, then it's a yes. And so I think for me, it was just that, just, okay, Dawn, let's leap in this. Because I'm be honest with you, I could have shut it all the way down at the talking to George. Like, yeah, okay, this is too much.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, pause. This is moving too quickly because all I was trying to do is rent a home. And I'm like, now you're telling me we're getting into this process to actually buy a home. I mean, granted, it was my dream to buy a home, but it was a scary process for me. And so I think, it's one of those just, hey, just see what you can do. Find out where you are. I think this process taught me what I believe or what I imagine or what I anticipate my life is bad. It's not bad. I didn't know what I didn't know. My debt, I'm thinking, because I'm stuck. Like, okay, I know what I didn't do. And so here somebody's saying, oh, yeah, that's nothing. We don't pay attention to that. Or no, this is where you actually are. They can dig deeper into finding out, oh, financially, yeah, you can do it. And this is what, as far as your status and what type of loans you're going to get, it's not all this is required. Right? So the whole down payment and, what you see on TV, somebody coming in there with all this money to, slap down at the table. No, I earned the right not to do that.
Yeah.
Because the loan that I'm using, because it was part of a benefit package, I didn't have to do that. Then I'm thinking, oh, closing costs. Okay, I gotta have money to slap down at the table, and you're like, oh no, we'll get them to pay it. What do you mean? You mean somebody else is gonna pay my debt? So it was one of those. It was like, okay, well, we don't know, Dawn. Let's jump. And so for a person like me to tell myself, okay, let's just do it. Let's jump. And so there was many times, even in that process, I'm like, maybe not. Maybe we'll wait. Maybe hold up, because I was fearing the rejection. And so it was like, okay, it's okay if they say no. Then we'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or it's time to wait. Then you have your answer. But for it to go full steam ahead, I'm like, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we got to see it through.
So what did it feel like? Because it's not over until it's over, right? So
Right.
like, what did it feel like to finally get the keys?
It was another high. When I got the keys, it was like, I did this. Something that you dreamed of to actually come to fruition. It was like, okay, I did it. This is me. Still today, it was so funny because I was telling my pastor last weekend, because he came to the house, and I was like, I'm still in awe. I sit around like, this is mine. Like, there's no back seats.
Right.
This is mine. I don't have to worry about someone knocking on my door and telling me I gotta go, or putting notes on my door that they're gonna come in and do anything to my place. I'm like, this is me. I mean, every night I'm like, thank you. Like this is mine. So it was to get the keys and to go through the whole signing process. I'm like, even during the signing, I'm like, this is happening. This is about to, this whole process is about to end, and then to get the keys and to walk into the house, like this is my house. It was a high like no other for me.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Well, thank
I'm
you.
so happy that you decided to just try it.
Yeah.
Just try it and see. So we'll ask some like bonus questions. Is there anything specifically that we did not cover that you want to share, or do you feel like we kind of covered?
No, I think we covered it. Like I said, it's just one of those. It's a faith walk.
Yeah.
To at the end of the day.
That is actually one of my questions that I was going to ask you. Is what did faith? What was your faith like during the process? Like, how did it grow? Like, how did you grow in your faith? Like, spiritually, like, what was the process like for you?
Yeah. Well, my faith has always been strong.
Yeah.
And so even from me moving to Charlotte, it was a journey that I prayed and prayed and prayed, and God was like, all right, let's go. It's time to move. And because even I'm like, okay, Lord, we're going to move to Charlotte. And even that, I'm like, maybe not. Maybe I'll stay. Maybe I won't go. And so it was so funny because I made the decision after coming to visit, and I had family here and coming to visit. I'm like, all right, we're going to go ahead and do it. And so my sister and I get into a big fight, and we're living in a duplex home. So she's staying up on the top and I'm staying at the bottom.
Yeah.
And here we're not even speaking. And so it got ugly and it got uncomfortable. But I think it was to push me out. So I took it. God said, it's time to go.
Yeah. So
to keep you from changing your mind, I'm going to make it uncomfortable for you. Because you don't like to be uncomfortable, so you're going to do whatever it is you need to go. Now, mind you, I had the house we were staying in, I had just moved in. So I had a year lease. And so it was like, all right, I'm gone. So we moved down here, and I'm like, all right. He kept me through the whole process, and then I'm like, I want a home. And I kept talking about it year after year after year after year. I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. And so here, we're in this apartment I've been in for 5 years. Again, the neighbors upstairs all of a sudden making all kinds of noise, would not stop. The building put some people in the unit next to me, 3 large dogs, barking all the time, not used to being in a confined space. It got uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I had to go. And so here, again, we'll rent a house. We'll just rent another house. And it was like, oh, okay, well, how about you try to see if you can get a home? And so to say, okay, we'll try, and go through the whole process and watching God just move. I mean, literally, it was like he was just moving stuff to the left, to the right. Go ahead. It's okay. It's okay. I say yes. Go.
Literally the whole time.
Right. And so it got scary. Like, God, you're not going. I know you're not about to do this. And it was like, oh yeah. Go ahead. I mean, it was to the point I was like, I just wanted to stop. And you were like, hey, it can stop. We can say no right now, and then it can all be over. And I'm like, no, let's keep going. So it took that. Not that I wasn't going to do this. It took faith to push.
I didn't know I needed tissue. Oh, I don't have nothing.
You're fine. I kept saying I wasn't going to do it. But no, to get yes, you're good. You're doing what I need you to do is what I needed to push. And so to look at what he has done, it's like, wow, you saw enough of me to say, this is you. This is where I need you to be. And what he's going to use with it,
We don't know.
we don't know. But yeah, it is a faith walk for sure for me. You know, to I mean, it allow, you know, my kids, you know, there's a place for people if they need to. I always call my house a refugee, or, you know, to refuge, and get yourself together. There's no stress. There's peace and everything like that. And for me to just sit there and I'm just like at peace. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't, you know, no one will have to ever come to my house if they don't want to. But the fact I'm just at peace because this is what God has
Amen. That was beautiful. I knew that was a good question. I was like, I'm definitely going to ask about faith because I remember like throughout the process, like just like the prayers and like even on the front porch step. One time we went over there, I don't remember what it was after. I think you had a conversation with the lender and I had to pray outside of the door after that because it is faith, right? And it's like through the whole process, it's like we may hear that there's a bump in the road, but that doesn't mean no. And I remember telling you that the whole time, like they didn't say no. They just said that there's something they have to work out, right? They didn't say no. They didn't say no. Don't worry. So I guess.
But I think through that whole process, I was waiting on the shoe to drop.
Yes.
And it was like, if the shoe did drop, I'd have been like, all right.
See,
there it is. That's what I've been waiting on.
Yep.
And God was not allowing that one shoe to drop. And I'm just like, but so you are saying, yeah, this is happening, right? And I'm like, okay, well, how am I gonna maintain something like this? And then all of a sudden I was getting raises and promotions, and I'm like, okay, well, here we are. I guess this is where we're supposed to be.
That's amazing.
So, yeah.
That's amazing. That goes into also my next question. We're like going right into them. Were there any times or things that almost stopped you from buying?
Oh, were there? Like I said, the whole, you know, okay, well, the VA said this, and trying to get the money because, you know, the VA has this rules, and it was that judgment, and it was like, well, you telling me I gotta pay all this money
The back and
first,
forth, like,
right?
do I do it? Do I not have to do
and
it?
I'm like, maybe this is the walk away. You know, fine, we're gonna walk away, and it was so close. Everything that they were doing was so close to the closing. We were close to the finish line, and here the VA says, but hey, I want this, and no, we can't do this, and okay, well, Dawn, we need to do this, and well, we can't wait, and so the courts is saying, well, we want this, and so there were so many obstacles that got put, I would say hurdles that got put up towards the finish line, right at the finish line. We're almost done. What do you mean? And, you know, waiting on all these different parties that, I was like, you know what, forget it. This is too much. Like, I wouldn't have to do this with a lease, right? And the lease would just been easy. Yeah, just sign my name, here's my money, and we're moving in. Yeah. But this was like, you know, the work to get to something greater.
That's good.
Now I understand, you know, what they say, anything of value doesn't come easy. And so now, after that, all the hurdles, I haven't paid HOA fees yet, you know, for a whole year.
Just to clarify, you don't have to. Right. Because they paid it for you.
Right. I haven't, you know, just when I sit there and I look at it, you get all these notices and they say, well, we're going to raise it to $5. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I check, you know, they have the little app and I'm like, I'm good. You know, I don't have to worry about it. You know, it's not a problem for me right now. You know, it's just the little things that was set in place that is making this a whole lot easier. So where I probably couldn't, you know, if I had to pay those fees, there's no telling. Well, I can't make the decision to paint right now because I'm paying HOA fees right
Right.
now, and so it helped to be able to make other decisions and prepare for other things and put money away so I can do the home
Renovation, yeah.
renovations, yeah,
Well, not
that I want to
renovation because decorations is right.
decorate.
There's no
Right,
renovations.
right.
You renting.
So yeah.
So where would you say you are now? Like I know that when you have goals and you keep kicking the can down the road, as they say, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. It takes up a lot of your mental space. So like now that that's like gone, like what is it like to just be a homeowner now?
It's it's fun. A little bit. Because I struggle with making a decision, so I done change what the colors that I want to do, and I'm like, okay, well maybe not this paint. All right, I'm gonna make it this room. I'm gonna do this room. Oh no, I don't want to do that room that color anymore. All right, let's change the colors around, and so I mean, it takes my oldest son has been my help. Like, yeah, I like that. I think we should do this, and he'll sit there and let me bounce ideas off, and then I'm like, all right, okay, I changed my mind again. I think I want to do it this way, and so that I think once I get over that hump and get the painting done and all that, I think I'm like, oh, cool. Then I can start bringing in decorations because I haven't put any paintings up on the walls
Yeah.
because I'm like, I'm gonna paint.
But I think that's a part of the process of going from like renting to homeowner. It's just you're not used to doing all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So you haven't like worked out that muscle. So I
Yeah.
think over time you're gonna do it. And the beauty is like you can paint and you can also paint again. So
Right.
you can paint it and then change it like later. Like a lot of people do that. It's like, okay, cool, this was cool for a season and like now I'm gonna change it. But that's good. Well,
yeah, and like I said, like you said, I've been a renter. I couldn't do that before.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, I have so many options that it gets overwhelming for me. Like I said, if I could just pay somebody, say, just to go have
Just
at it,
decorate.
and I'll move in. What you see, and I'll just move in.
So, well, that's it. That's all I had. We talked about all the different things. I guess the last question that I would ask is like, what would you say the importance of who you work with is? Like from the lender to the inspector to the new build people that you choose, right? To your realtor. Like what is the importance or like what impact did the people that were a part of the process like have on your process?
I think it's real important to know who you're dealing with. I think one of the questions you had to ask me when we started the official process was, what did I expect of you? And my thing was, don't lie to me. And so just be honest.
Yeah.
If, there's a realtor, I mean, I get it. It's a sale. At the end of the day, you're trying to do your part, but I appreciated your honesty and not not just trying to schmooze me to get a sale. You listened. You heard me when I said I really don't want to travel a whole lot just to get to work, and so that was one of your focuses and your focus. Because I think you saw I couldn't really make a decision, and when we were going to the different places, okay, I need somewhere where I can entertain. I need somewhere where, somebody needs to come over, then they can. And so you listen to that part. Even, I think you saw how I did like the first house. Okay, well, I think something will be better for you. And so you listen. And then even with working with the Madame, the finance people, and Joey, to listen. You're listening to the things that's not said, and the small things that are breezing by, which were probably the most important things, other than the main thing.
Yeah.
Right. So even George, hearing what I want, and okay, well, my lease is up. I would like to, is it possible? Oh yeah, it's possible. And to show how it can be possible. I think working with people who are honest, um, on top of doing their job. You know, caring about the person.
Yeah.
More than just the sale.
Exactly. I mean, without the person, there's not
Right.
one, right?
Right.
So it's like, I mean, if you're not comfortable, and I think that's one
Right.
of my biggest things, like setting the expectations, listening to what it is that you desire, and then
Right.
even going beyond listening to your desires, because this, what we ended up at, wasn't necessarily like what you pictured,
No.
but fit into the boxes more
Right.
perfectly than the things that you thought. So I think
Right.
that that's like the most exciting part of my job for me is like, this is closer to work for you.
Oh my gosh, to get to work 20 minutes. I mean, I'll just shoot straight
Straight
down
shot.
Plaza.
Closer to
Yeah.
work for you, got all your closing costs paid, brand new. You know, you have the smaller yard, so you don't have to maintain that, but
Right.
also the large, like, entertaining space in like multiple areas as
Yeah.
well. So, and then space for family and all kinds of things
Yeah.
like that, the closet, the bathroom. So it's just like all of the boxes
Yeah.
that were checked. So that makes me really, really happy. But
Yeah.
thanks again for being here.
Yes.
That's the
You're
end.
welcome. All right.
Thanks for watching. And if you're interested or know anyone who's interested in buying in North Carolina or South Carolina, contact me. But I also have references that you can work with in other states as well.